Yeah, nice to meet you, George. So my name's Keir. I'm a RMT senior rep, representing obviously the members who work in the railway.
Yeah, so trade unions, not many people, especially young people, know what a trade union is. So what is the role of a trade union for the workers?
So trade unions is quite simple, really. It's to represent and give the voice to the workers as a collective agreement. So everyone seems to think that the trade union is one person. It's not, it's every person. So we are a democratic organisation. So every single role, I'm elected by its members, General Secretary is elected by its members, we run by the National Executive, which is again elected by the members. And it's about collective voices to move forward and make industry improvements. I mean, if you look over the history of what trade unions gained, holidays, bank holidays, the weekends.
Yeah.
If we weren't for trade unions, we wouldn't have had these matters, and people forget that at times.
Yeah. So strike action obviously is something that you can resort to, but is it often quite a last resort?
It's always a last resort. At the end of the day, when we strike as a last resort. Our members lose money, as well as myself, every single day that we strike. We're not a case of we're off and having a jolly. We're losing out on pay.
Yeah.
And that's paid to pay the bills. So I think people need to realise this, is that when we go to that point, it's been a long time in the making. So if you look at our dispute at this moment in time, which is still ongoing, we have got a bit of an impasse at the moment and we are in further talks. But I'm now into my 4th year without a pay rise. Now, yes, throughout the pandemic I wasn't furloughed, but I was turning up to work. I was working along with my colleagues. And I remember at times, at the beginning there, in 2020, March, April, where we were working, but we didn't know what we was facing. We didn't know the risks of COVID.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be used as a bit of a tool, and the talking that other people were furloughed, and we wasn't. Well, that's correct, but I was still out earning the money because I was working my job, and that was to ensure that people could get to work, the key workers, the doctors, the nurses, the supermarket assistants, could all get to work. So we're there providing a valuable service.
Yeah.
And like I say, we're 4 years now into without a pay rise, and we don't just jump straight into a strike. We've tried talking. We have protocols in place. We have to raise a dispute, go to the avoidance of dispute meeting, and only as a last resort to then we move to a strike. And then we have to then get past the anti-trade union laws, where we have to get a minimum of a 50% turnout and a minimum of 40% of those that actually are members to vote. I mean, we've always beat that ourselves personally.
Yeah.
But these laws are set up deliberately to try and prevent people from taking action. We don't want to take action. We'd rather sit around the table and get it organised and done properly and professionally. But if we have to strike, we will do so. We've done it, and we'll do it again if we have to. Hopefully we don't. We shall see.
So was this type of dispute brewing for quite a while then?
Yeah, like I say, we've not had a pay rise for 4 years. They've been asking for talks to implement pay rises, and there wasn't forthcoming. And our members, as everybody else in society, has been struggling with inflation. I mean, just last week, CPI came in at, I think, 10.4%, RPI above 13%, food inflation 18%. And when you're on the same wages still from 4 years ago,
Yeah.
people start feeling that pinch.
Yeah.
And they need that to live. And again, we keep on hearing over and over again about how much a train driver earns. And I think some members, the RMT is the all members, all grades union.
Yeah.
I represent members that are on as little as £17,000, £18,000 a year. And we're there to protect them,
Yeah.
to make sure they can earn a living, so they don't have to go to food banks, so they can put a fit meal on their tables.
Yeah. So when you went on strike, there was 3 main reasons. It was job security, pay, and the terms and conditions. There's not been that much about the terms and conditions. So what can you tell us about that side?
So what's come clear from the government through its from the Rail Delivery Group and from the DFT is that they do not like some of our terms and conditions, and we do have good terms and conditions. That's nothing to be shy of, and they're using this as an excuse to say that we can't give you a pay rise without you paying for it yourself. And basically, they call it modernisation, but it's not modernisation. It is ripping up of terms and conditions. Now, let me give you an example. So we keep on hearing that we're not a 7-day railway. We are.
Yeah.
I work 2 and 3 Saturdays. I work 1 and 3 Sundays. And I've got a fixed shift pattern in that essence where I know what rest days I've got and I can plan ahead.
Yeah.
Now, I accept that I work weekends, but they want us to move from the last offer from the RDG back in December. They want us to move away from a fixed rest day pattern to being an ad hoc rest day pattern. So then my work-life balance gets taken away. My colleagues' work-life balance gets taken away. So that's not Right.
Yeah.
We hear over and over again that we're not flexible. Now, for my grade, we have a 5-hour window, so we have a base roster, and it's a bit different from other industries, but my start time can change by 5 hours, 2.5 hours before and 2.5 hours after. So if I'm booked in to start at 8 o'clock that morning, I could be brought on as early as 5:30 in the morning, or start as late as 10:30 in the morning. And obviously the subsequent finish times is that way as well. And that's with 48 hours notice. So we've already got a significant amount of flexibility built into our rosters, which we are remunerated for, but they want more. Well, how do people plan for their personal lives? How do people plan for childcare? They can't do that, and that's not right. So yes, it's about providing a service, but it's about also ensuring that the members have a decent work-life balance, and it's about protecting those. You look at the other conditions, they want to do away with the ticket officers. It's quite clear there's a future where they want no ticket officers. They provide a valuable service. There's no secret in this. All the disability groups up and down the country have come out calling this out. It would be discriminatory to remove those ticket officers. The support they provide is immense. You've also got the fact that you cannot buy a full range of tickets online.
No.
So the consumer would be missing out as well, because like what's called a group ticket, you can only get from a ticket office or from a conductor. You can't get it from a machine. You can't get it from online systems.
Yeah.
So it's detrimental to the consumer as well as obviously my colleagues.
So this sort of move to digital world that we're going to now, is that, are they saying that's going to come with job losses then?
So they have said they want to repurpose. Part of the offer is at the moment is no compulsory redundancies till December 2024. And I say this is what the offer is. There's been no acceptance at this moment in time. But they want to slim down the railway. They want to remove jobs.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that at all.
Yeah. So I've done some research, and it's been quite a mixed bag. So some people say they support the workers, they feel solidarity, and many feel compassion, whereas some people say they feel betrayal. I think the strikes are daft and frustrating. So is public support something that you need to succeed, or is it just a sort of drive that the members have?
So it's good to have public support, and certainly the feeling that I've had on all the picket lines that I've been on is the vast majority do support us.
Yeah.
They come up and say, we're feeling the same pain as you, we'd like a pay rise. We're proud that you're standing up for what we want to stand up for. And then I think if we look back to last year, we was the first major union to go out on strike, and there's been a raft since then. The doctors, the nurses. I mean, look at the RCN, the Royal College of Nursing. In its 100-year history, this is the first time ever it has been on strike.
Yeah.
So if people have got anger and frustration about these strikes, they need to look at who's causing this, and that's this government.
Yeah.
At the same time as they are driving real-term living wages down, they have given tax relief to the top 5%. How can that be right?
So the strikes have gone on for 9 months. Did you ever envisage they'd go on for this long?
But we knew it wasn't going to be a quick win. We knew that, because in normal times you have a company and the strike action is quite impactful, and I think you need to look at why it's gone so long. So there was a committee, transport committee in Parliament about a month or so ago, and the rail minister actually confirmed that they have spent more money bankrolling the companies throughout the strikes than it would have cost to actually settle. And there's a political will here. There's a political will from this government to try and break the RMT, and that's what quite clearly it's come out of this. It would have been cheaper and quicker and easier to have settled, but they've not done that. And so in normal times, I think it would have been dealt with. But when you've got a government that's bankrolling to try and prevent that from happening, it's saddened. And that's where the public support has come in greatly, because what needs to happen now is they need to be hit hard in the ballot box in the local elections in May, and then whenever that general election is. We've got an absolute abysmal government at this moment in time.
It does seem like that's coming as well, doesn't it?
It does, and I hope it really does, because I've never known it so bad myself personally.
Yeah. So what percentage, do you know roughly, of your members did strike, and has that continued throughout, or have people dropped out as the strikes have gone on?
Action's strong, so I'm not going to go into percentages, but majority.
Yeah.
And I mean significant majority.
Yeah. And that number's sort of sustained throughout?
It's been sustained throughout, yes.
Yeah. So throughout the process, what were the conversations that you were having with the unions and the employers, your employers?
Been no conversations at all. We requested talks and they've not happened, and that's why we came to the strike action.
Yeah.
There has been talks that's taken on a national level between our General Secretary, Mick Lynch, the Assistant General Secretaries and the rail delivery group. There's been conversations at a high level there, and they have progressed. There does seem to be a bit of a breakthrough with an offer through last week, which has resulted in this week's strikes being suspended. We're still waiting for some more details on that, and there is a framework offer coming forward, which hopefully will suffice and deal with the dispute, and we really hope it does. But at the same time, if it doesn't,
yeah,
we're ready.
Yeah. And so do you think the end is near, or are we just at the beginning of the end?
I hope it's near. Whether it is or not, we'll see.
And could we see more strikes, do you think, in the future with maybe a change in government, or do you think that the past 9 months has really taught everyone that we need to start giving the lowest paid people more money?
Well, we need to give everybody a fair pay rise. And we shouldn't be ashamed of that. It's about keeping society at a level pegging. So it needs to be there. Whether there'll be future strikes, I believe there will be. I mean, PCS has just announced over 100,000 civil servants are going to go on strike in a few weeks' time. The BMA have got some strikes for junior doctors coming out. And again, look at the BMA. People talk about how much doctors earn, and they always quote the highest people. A brand new doctor who's working in a stressful situation on £14 an hour after 6 years at university. It's not right.
No.
Not right at all. And at the same time, we've seen what's happened this week, and there's been some articles come out where you've got some ex-Conservative ministers demanding £10,000 for a day to do some private work. I mean, what kind of society are we living in?
Yeah, it's not surprising though, is it? And that's the painful thing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And striking, it works, doesn't it?
It assists. It's one of many tools that we have. And like I say, it is the last tool that we'll ever use.
Yeah.
We will never jump into a strike unnecessarily. It will always be a last resort. Because at the end of the day, if our members don't want to strike, they won't strike.
Yeah.
And we have to go for that ballot. So we don't move into it lightly. But it does give us leverage for negotiations, and it does assist. And it is to remind people actually who does do the work, and it is the workers. And they should be fairly treated and fairly rewarded for their contribution.
Thank you very much, Keir.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.